Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. On this video, we're discussing the second part of the impact of COVID-19 to fashion industry at large or in general. If you hear the sound of rooster in the background, I am so sorry. My neighbor just gotten a rooster recently as a pet and it's been screaming non-stop since 5 a.m. every day. So I'm sorry about that. If you haven't watched the part 1 where I discussed the impact of COVID-19 to luxury industry or the luxury brands, definitely go check it out first. But if you don't want to check it out, you won't have any problems understanding this video either. So let's get started with the retail industry. Neiman Marcus, one of the high-end retail stores that I'm sure lots of people have heard of, and if you haven't, hello, where have you been? They've been around for forever, announced they've stepped up preparations to seek bankruptcy protection. But the thing is, Neiman Marcus has been in debts for quite some time. Last year, they managed to reach a deal with creditors to rework their due payments, which gave them more breathing time and avoided filing for bankruptcy. Then came 2020 and COVID-19, which in April forced all retail under Neiman Marcus company, the Neiman Marcus, Bergdorf Goodman, and Laskow, to close all stores across the United States, leaving around 14,000 of their employees jobless. This closure happened just a few weeks before their interest payment due date starting April 15th, which totaled for more than $4 billion. Another department store from Germany, their biggest one, Galeria Karstadt Kaufhof, also filed for bankruptcy protection. In their terms, it's called administrative insolvency, on 1st of April after losing 80 million euros in revenue per week. British department store group Debenhams on April 6th was going to file for bankruptcy protection too, risking 28,000 of their employees spread across 142 stores in UK and Denmark losing their jobs. In Indonesia, we have Ramayana and Matahari department store closing all their stores and terminated thousands of their employees. These are only some big retail companies around the world who already feel the huge impact of the economic crisis caused by the pandemic. These retail shelters the small significant key player in fast fashion industry, if you realize, which is the factory workers or the garment workers. Bangladesh, one of the garment-making centers in the world, has reported more than 1 million garment workers are furloughed, and around 4.1 million workers in garment industry are facing dire risk of not receiving any payments for months ahead. These workers receive daily wages, by the way, if you don't know, and their and their families' lives depend on those daily wages. Garment factories in Bangladesh have no choice but to close their factories. They've been complaining on how retail companies react to this pandemic, which is abandoning them once shit hit the fan. If you don't know how retail or fast fashion works, here's how the process goes. Retailers copy designs from runways and from what's trending. They need to release those new designs into stores at least once every month or once every 2 weeks. Compare that to traditional stores who takes at least 3 months production for new collection. This is why Autumn-Winter Collection Show is held during spring and summer months, while Spring-Summer Collection Show is held during autumn and winter months, because they need time to do mass productions. When you go to Zara, H&M, Forever 21, and other similar stores, you won't find this same item in the exact same place if you come back 2 weeks later. I mean, damn, you probably even find the same item in the same place if you come back a week later. This is called fast fashion, and it's not a new term. This term has been around for years to describe fashion retail sector ever since Zara opened their stores in New York in 1990s, and then the New York Times dubbed them as fast fashion due to their speed for producing products from designs to stores in just 2 weeks. As population grows, so does the demands, and fast fashion industry requires more workers with cheaper wages to cut down the price to fulfill those demands. Cue in factories in developing countries. Usually, in their contract, how it works is that retail company would put their orders to their supplier or their garment factories without any front payment. These suppliers will then have to afford raw materials and their workers' salary to start the garment making process themselves. Only when all orders are finished and ready to be shipped, retail company pays supplier all the materials and manpower's cost. However, in this pandemic, many fashion companies have been canceling and suspending their orders because, hello, no one shops and stocks are piling. It would be crazy to continue any production and burn more money now. And they also refuse to pay these suppliers for any cost. Some of them agreed to pay for material cost only, even though part of the orders have been sewn into finished garments, while some other refused to cover any costs completely, which leaves suppliers no choice but to close their factories and put thousands of their workers out of job. This issue would have been easy to solve in court if it's not due to pandemic. There's a clause in most of retail and suppliers' contract which is called force majeure. Force majeure is a clause that permits retail company to be released from any contractual responsibility in the case of exceptional circumstances. I can say pretty confidently that pandemic is considered as exceptional circumstances here. According to BGMA, Bangladesh Garment Manufacturers Association, the cancellation and suspended orders as of March 29th amounted to $1 billion. Primark, the Dublin-based retail company, is on the first chart here for having the largest estimated total of cancellation and suspended orders. They've lost £650 million of sales in a month, and they still have existing stocks in stores, depots, and transit, which they've paid for. But they can't afford new orders since they're not making any new sales now. UK retailers New Look has also suspended payments to suppliers for their existing stocks indefinitely, stating now is a matter of survival. Inditex admitted they're going to pay for orders already completed, though some of those payments might be delayed. H&M had also said they're still going to pay for orders in production and the ones that are already finished. I put the links down below if you want to read the more comprehensive and detailed explanations on the issue with the Bangladesh workers. Independent designers are also feeling the impact. A London-based fashion designer, Chen Xuzhi, has postponed the launch of a collaboration that was supposed to happen in March, followed by a suspended release of his new collection. Indonesian independent designers, as far as I know, myself, some of my friends, are also struggling to get new orders during this pandemic. I also know some of them are now making fabric masks and sell them. So what's in the future for fashion industry at large after this pandemic is over? Well, looking at the situation right now, where cases are still on all high numbers except China, South Korea, and some other Asian countries, even when we're already in May, it seems like this year, fashion industry, especially retail sector, the fast fashion, is going to restart again slowly. Unlike the top tier, where the wealthy can go revenge buying, mid to low income people are not going to revenge buy after this pandemic is over. We're entering a worldwide economic crisis right now, and everyone with sane mind would not spend money for shopping spree on clothes and accessories after the pandemic is over. Giorgio Armani actually made a comment that this pandemic might bring back the slow fashion, which is what the world needs, because we all need to chill, right? No, but he's right. Thanks to fast fashion, fashion waste significantly increased for the last 2 decades. To be precise, they constitute 2% of world pollution. The fabric dyes, the factory waste, animal exploitations. There's just lots of bad impacts to environment thanks to fast fashion. With that said, I'm gonna end this video. I think that's all I can deliver on how COVID-19 impacts the fashion industry at large. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this information is useful for you, or at the very least entertaining. Don't forget to click like and subscribe for more contents from this channel in the future. Thank you once more, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!